How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about this video from George Melendez, and I'll leave a link in the description to his channel with this video. And we'll also talk about we'll take a minute also to talk about where I found this out, and I'll leave a link to that too. I found this, of course, with at the Here's the Deal channel. I watch a lot of the Here's the Deals videos, and so that's where I found this, first found this at, and so I want to discuss it for a minute. First, I'm going to show you, this is how, this just goes to show how the First Amendment auditors are doing a good job. I'm going to talk about a few things in this, and I don't want to offend anyone, and certainly don't want to say take away from the fact that they are doing a good job and it is being helpful, but it could be a little more helpful, and we'll get into that. But first, let's take a look here. This is from George Melendez, sorry, and I'm gonna show just a little bit. We'll skip through some of it, but I want to show what's going on with him and what happened in his video. And if you're interested in seeing the whole video, like I said, there'll be a link in the description to his channel with this video. And let's go ahead and take a look what's going on here. You know, it turns out the police got involved in some matter. I don't know, somebody called the police on him, and this is Royce City, Texas police department. They demand the ID, like it says here, Royce City, Texas Police Department demands ID for no crime. Power tripping officers get educated, and to a point, this is all true. And this goes from, and he points out in his interactions with them that he watches all these First Amendment auditors videos, and he's learned a lot, and he's educating them when they try to he threatens to sue him and stuff when they try to arrest him for the fact that they asked him for his ID. And one of the worst things you can do, it seems like what we're seeing on a lot of these videos, is refuse to give your ID, and they think that just because they ask for your ID that you have to provide it. And the truth is, they have to meet a certain threshold, certain requirements have to be met before they have a right to force you to ID yourself. But let's go ahead and take a look at his video here. Here we go.
Just tell me what happened.
No, you need to talk to him. I don't got nothing to say.
Well, that's our job. So
I understand your job. Again, I'm not going to keep repeating myself. Talk to him. He's the one that called me, not me. I don't have a story to tell. I don't tell stories.
So you said that you cut him off?
I did not cut nobody off. Again, ask him. We're in a fucking drive-thru at McDonald's. It's not that goddamn serious. So, that's what I'm telling you.
I can really
if you want to make a big deal out of nothing, that's on him. I'm not frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. That's why I'm driving away. I didn't.
Okay. Do you have your license on you?
Yeah, but you don't need it.
Yeah, we absolutely do, sir.
Ya lo necesitan.
You got it messed up.
You were involved in this issue?
No, I'll investigate. I didn't do nothing. I didn't commit a crime.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
That's a negative, man. You're not going to get anything.
He's not interfere with the investigation because he wanted to put you in jail.
Check the deal.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
No te bajes. No te bajes. No te bajes.
Hey,
No te bajes.
you're in the investigation.
No te bajes. No te bajes.
Listen, I'll go to jail because you're going to violate my rights. I gave you rights, my first and my Fourth Amendment rights. You understand? Because he's trying to take me to jail or they're not identifying myself. Is your body cam done? I don't see the red light on yours. Is it on? Okay. I see you got it. I will sue the shit out of you.
Let me explain to
I will sue the shit out of you guys. There is no crime committed. There is no crime committed. No, because there's no crime committed. You understand? I don't need to give you my idea. I didn't do nothing. There's no crime committed. Yep, no problem.
Really? Are you serious?
Stop recording.
We get the reading.
I need your supervisor. Don't stop recording.
Hey, it's going to be tight.
Supervisor here, don't stop recording. Just we're taking it back closer. Just so
Right.
what you think about for the record?
Hey, Officer Farmer said 57.
I'm surveilling. Thank you. No. I'm going to put and I'm going to put shit on the scene. I don't search the TV, okay? So remember that for the record.
Do you have anything on you?
I did wait.
Okay. You don't have anything on you that's close to property?
I don't answer questions. I watch all these First Amendment videos. I don't gotta do shit. Go investigate. You don't need my fucking license for what? You don't even identify me for shit. I didn't do nothing. That's not a crime. No crime. What's the crime? What is a crime? What do they call it for? Disturbance. What kind of disturbance? A what? A what? That's verbal? I mean, that's not physical. There's no crime. I'm trying to see.
You're being overly aggressive for just
No, because you guys don't need my fucking ID. What word don't you fucking understand? Goddamn, you guys are fucking stupid in my car.
Okay, I'll stop it right there for a minute. And what we got here is Officer Carmen and Officer Bailey. They were obviously called supposedly a disturbance or whatever, and they think that just because they were called that this man needs to provide his identification, and they say because they're investigating a crime. And George's defense here, he's exactly right. He says, well, go investigate the crime then and prove I'm guilty of a crime, and then you have a right to ask me for my ID. Because as it shows here, people could be misunderstood. They're walking up to while he's in his vehicle. He was so the problem is he was not pulled over for any kind of traffic violation. You know, it was nothing like that. They didn't witness him do anything wrong. Is somebody else called the police, and as if you're paying attention here what's going on in my case with my videos, that seems to be but I'm over here in Ohio, so it's, you know, but most of the country operates pretty closely the same. And a very big problem we're having in this country is that somebody calls the police and all of a sudden the police think they have a right to come and destroy your life and interfere in it however they wish. So hats off to George Melendez here for standing his ground, and that's what we need to see. A lot of people standing their ground, and that's where watching these First Amendment videos, you're gonna see that you're gonna if you don't already know, you're gonna learn some things that's going to be helpful to you. And like he says, he watches all these. Now, First Amendment's kind of the wrong term on this, on some of this. It's not always involving the First Amendment, and that's one thing I'll get to in just a little bit here. But he's 100% right, standing firm on his ground, even under the threat of arrest. And a lot of people, as soon as they're afraid of getting arrested, they're going to go ahead and comply. And he had no reason to comply, and they had no right to ask him for his ID. Now, he's threatening lawsuits, and is that going to get anywhere? My notion is probably not. I would be interested in, we'll get to a little bit later into his video here. I'll skip through some of it and show you how it turned out. And as it turned out, one of their superiors shows up and, you know, pretty much tells them, let this man go, he didn't do nothing wrong, right? And so he's threatening to sue. And I would be, if George, if you happen to chime in on my video here, of, you know, me showing your video here, if this catches your attention by any chance, I would be happy to know the outcome if you do pursue any kind of lawsuit, because I think, you know, they'll step in with officer immunity. Is how I believe it would probably go down. But you know, but I don't want to take away from this. He's honestly doing the right thing here, standing his ground, and that's what people need to do. And you know, there's several ways we're gonna get change made with these kind of actions out of our police officers. And one, it begins while we're still in the beginning of a lot of this. It takes a lot of people being brave enough to stand their ground, even under the threat of arrest. You know, we need to stand our ground, and he obviously did. So, you know, I'll skip ahead through some of this here. There's some interaction going on, and then they go over and try to convince his passenger, hey, well, you know, we only want his ID, and this could go down a lot better if he would just give us his ID. But as it turns out, he gets unarrested. As Here's the Deal pointed out, a man gets unarrested, right? So okay, so we'll go over here, we'll skip ahead a little bit, and now the other officer shows up. And pretty much he's telling them, hey, you need to let him go. He didn't commit a crime. And the fact of the matter is, you got to commit a crime in order for, you know, he didn't cross the threshold to be able them to ask him for his ID. So as you see here, they're now pulling him out, they're letting him go, and we'll see some of that interaction here.
Calmado.
Don't stop recording.
Ajá, calmado. Calmado, yes. Tenemos.
Incident number, and I need everybody's names here.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So why am I in handcuffs? Over here, please, for the record. Why am I in handcuffs?
You're being detained for investigation.
Okay, but you don't detain people in handcuffs.
So,
Okay? Because Karen over there called you guys. I heard him see if he's got warrants. I avoided him, okay? This is not the answer. And then this guy right here, Mr. Bailey, demanding my ID for no crime. Investigation starts there. He would have told you the story, that there was no crime committed.
Why is he leaving?
Right?
He's so
Why are
aggressive.
you in handcuffs? No, you don't. Not physically. Not physically. Not like this. You want me to put you in handcuffs of what you did to me? You violated my rights. It's not arguing. Shut the fuck up and get in your car. You're dismissed. Get me out of these fucking handcuffs. Sir, get me out of these handcuffs, please.
Okay.
This is not right.
Okay.
I did nothing wrong. It was an argument, that's it.
Why did he leave?
what's your person?
You don't need to know
What would
that.
you like to be called?
Good citizen.
Okay, good citizen.
Yes, sir.
So, here's the deal.
There's no deal. Just explain to me, please. Get me out of these handcuffs. I don't want to be in handcuffs.
We're not
Yeah,
taking
deja.
you're not gonna get crazy with me. Or
I'm not
anything.
getting crazy, sir.
Déjalo.
I don't get crazy. I don't get crazy. I don't get crazy. This is crazy. What you guys did to me. Look at it, in front of the whole world, in front of my family. You want me to do that to you guys?
Well, not sir. Just relax. I
Fucking
gotta get these
stupid, man. Stupid, non-professional people, man. The fuck you guys dealing with, man? And I need an incident number, please, and everybody's name that was involved, even that man, because I'm suing his ass too for calling you guys. Look at that. Look at that. You guys recording that? Fucking animals. I'm gonna put you in torture cuffs. I need the incident number, please. Stupid ass motherfucker. And you're leaving before I leave. I'll sit here all fucking day. You gotta dismiss. Yeah. Get better at your jobs.
You're good. You can get out of here.
If somebody doesn't give you ID, doesn't mean you put them in fucking handcuffs. Yeah, you go fuck yourself.
You need anything from me?
No, sir. I thank you for being professional. Teach these stupid asses something.
All right.
Right? And it's no disrespect to you. But when they come, they got to do an investigation because look what they did. Look what they did to me.
So, on
But they don't need to do that, sir. You understand?
I already.
So I'm just letting you know right now, for the record, I'm suing the
So that's where I'll leave that at. Like I said, if you want to see the rest of the video, I encourage you to go over and check it out. Maybe you already have. He's now far more subscribers than me, and I encourage you to subscribe to his channel if you like what you see on there. And so basically I want to say good job to George Melendez, and this is the kind of stuff we need to see, and there's more we need to see, and there's more we need to do on educating the people of what what recourses we can take. But good job to George on this. He stood his ground, and finally a superior showed up and said, hey, you guys can't do this, so he stood his ground, told him the what for, and he says he's going to file a lawsuit. Now, my thing about that is how well his lawsuit's going to go. We'll see. I'd be more than happy to get an update on that, George, if you happen to watch my video on this, to see how that goes. And this is not taking any cut at George or anyone else who's attempting this, but the thing is, one of the problems we have in this country is officer immunity. And it's a big problem, actually, and they're getting away with all kinds of things. And I believe that if it comes to a lawsuit, he may, if the powers that be want to stick to the law like they're supposed to, he may succeed in a lawsuit. But I believe they'll try to pull the card out of officer immunity. And so a few things I want to say, like what's going on. The officer immunity is an issue, and see, we got to get to this into the court level. And a lot of these First Amendment auditors and First Amendment videos ain't so much showing that. It seems like the big deal is to show the interaction where the officer pulls the person over, and then we'll discuss it and say what you could or should or shouldn't do, could or couldn't have done. And but that's as far as we take it. And if you're watching what's going on on my channel, and right now I haven't put a whole lot of cases out there, but I did do one on like I said, the Rob Schaefer video, a crime he didn't commit. I believe it's called, that's a few months ago now, but I did explain to you what you can do in that situation, and that's what we need to get is we need to show where it goes beyond this, because the truth is, if we're going to really beat this and really have success, we're going to need to get past this officer immunity thing, and we're going to need to get this at higher levels, at higher government levels than just the officers, because you can sit there and argue with the officers, and some are having luck and some aren't, and some are still getting arrested and thrown into jail. But what we need to do is have we need to bring it a lot more past just this right here, like we have going on here. Not cutting on George at all. He's done a terrific job here, and he's obviously learned a lot from watching the First Amendment videos, and so hats off to him. He's done a great job. But how far will he get pursuing it any further? I believe it'll be a struggle. Maybe not. I can't say that he wouldn't get success in it, but he'll definitely be running into a struggle based on the whole officer immunity thing. And now, before I go any further, now I want to track back over here to Here's the Deal channel, and shout out to Here's the Deal, to Brian out there. I've shown several times videos from Here's the Deal, and shared them on my website, shared them on social media, and I'll get to that in a minute. But one thing I want to show, if you hold on, I messed. Okay, if we go back and see on George's channel, he's now up to 943 subscribers, and that's good, and actually, I'm going to go ahead and subscribe right now to him. I didn't realize I hadn't subscribed yet. Usually when I see, especially some good content, I subscribe, share the love out there, and that's what we need to do. And so now I'll take you back for a minute over to Brian's channel. Here's the Deal. And now I've followed Brian for a long time. He used to be High Impact Flicks and Grease Monkey Videos, a couple other channels he's had. I followed him for a very long time, and I remember back, there was a time where I was watching an Alex Jones episode, and Alex Jones was talking about possibly trying to get Brian on his under his wing, and when he was doing High Impact Flicks. And actually, when I seen that, I was like, because I was already, already a fan of Brian's, and so I did not want, if anyone knows my history, I've ran my website for many years, and back in the day, used to be more website stuff than it was video stuff, right? And a lot of us didn't so much go on videos on YouTube. We threw our videos on our own websites, and that's how my website, AmericaUncensored.net, used to be. And maybe back then it was .com or .org. I've had, you know, I was shut down twice. Anyone that has followed me that much time, you know, my following has dwindled down quite a bit because of complications I ran into. But there was a time when I was right on the heels of InfoWars and Prison Planet, all this stuff ran by Alex Jones, right? And Alex Jones refused to share most of my stuff, and back then I was contributing some good information. I was going a lot stronger than I am these days, and that was stuff I was writing and had some others with me writing. But so I remember Alex Jones back, I don't remember how long ago it is now, but several years ago, he was, we'll see what we can do about getting Brian from High Impact Flicks, you know, he was under his wing. And when I seen that, I was like, no, don't, you know, I was thinking to myself, man, I hope you don't do that, Brian, because there's some shady stuff connected to Alex Jones, and I'm not going to take away from the contributions he has made to the truth movement or conspiracy movement, you know, however you want to put it. And but there is shady stuff there, and I so far believe in what Brian's doing. I believe his heart's there, and he's more concerned about the truth than a lot of the stuff, you know. And so, you know, hats off to him for not going that route. But so I want to show a little bit here, right? You know, so if we take a look, you know, and if you're interested in Brian's take on it, from Here's the Deal, like I said, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to his video too, and I invite you, because he's always throws in some good insight to the videos he does too. So by all means, go ahead and check his channel out, and if you're not subscribed to him, go ahead and subscribe. And you know, if you're not subscribed to my channel by now, go ahead and subscribe. But you know, we'll go over here, and this was, like, I believe it was yesterday that he did this video, 21 hours ago, and at that time George Melendez had 110 subscribers, and he still had a decent amount of views on his channel on this specific video, but he had 110 subscribers. And now, you know, and I don't know who all has, sorry about that, I don't know who all has thrown done any reviews on Mr. Melendez's video so far, but my point is they contribute and help him gain subscribers, and that's one thing I want to hit on now for my channel is, and I've been reaching out, and you know, I don't know if because people don't believe in my cause or don't want to believe my side of the story or whatever, but you know, I'm reaching out to some of these bigger channels that I believe in. These are people that I already follow, and I follow their work and do my best to share their work. And the thing is, because I believe we're all more powerful together, and I'm not trying to say I'm smarter or better than anyone, and you know, because the truth is I don't believe that at all, that I have anything more to offer. I just have additional stuff to offer, just like everybody else. I have a little bit to offer, they have a little bit to offer, and I've been struggling trying to get into this, you know, and I've got quite a few videos up now, and some of them I can understand that people won't like, and I got a little bit of different content going on, because I'm trying to follow the ways of how my website was first built, and I had different categories, you know, that involved music, but it all comes down to, you know, one where it all connects together. You know, it's not just music, but it's music that has some kind of meaning that connects to the stuff I talk about, right? For your rights, for our freedoms, a little bit of Christianity stuff I throw in there. And I'm not saying you have to like all my videos or agree with everything I'm saying, but I am trying to build my subscribers. And there's some content you're not going to like, but there's some content you are going to like and find valuable information from. And I got some good valuable information that I haven't so much shared completely yet, because one, the stage I'm in with my stuff, and they're making it one hard battle, and they're, you know, they're smearing me all over the place, right? And two, you know, I would like to make it worth it by having at least some more subscribers. That I want to know that I'm throwing stuff out there that there's people that's going to benefit from it, and it's being worth my time. You know, so I mean, this is just a testament where he had 110 yesterday. Now he's up to 900 and some, and I'm up to 312 at the current moment, and it's a struggle. It moves up a little bit and back down, and all of that's self-made mostly, you know, with the help of my current subscribers sharing my stuff. But it's not. I've reached out to a lot of these different auditors, and not every single one of them, but there's several of them I follow, and I say, hey, could you do a review on my channel or any of my videos? And I understand some of them are long videos, and some of them maybe there's content you're not going to agree with. But for the First Amendment auditors, you know, I have, just take the one where I met with the sheriff, where a sheriff admits he refuses to do his job. That one alone, I don't see why some of these guys can't jump in here and do a little bit of an audit. You know, I'll call out Chili with delete laws for a minute, you know, because I'm going to say, like, Chili with delete laws, and here's the deal. Like Brian's stuff, even other than here's the deal, the other channels he used to have, I've shared their stuff. Like Brian's, I've shared for years, whether it be on my social media or through my website. And a lot of it word of mouth. Just I have a lot of, you know, I know a lot of connections for different things I've been involved in through life, and you know, so anybody in my connections, I whether it be by word of mouth or sending them text messages, hey, check this out, or through emails, hey, check this out, and I've shared their information, and you know, so I know that a few of those subscribers are probably a little help from me, and you know, but just one extra subscriber means a lot, in my opinion, you know, and as I said, like delete laws, that's no exception. Now you take someone like Chili, and I remember when I first saw his stuff, and that was thanks to Brian, thanks to Here's the Deal channel. He shared something not long after, as my stuff was starting to go on, what was going on with me, and at that particular time, Chili was down here in Ironton, Ohio. And I should have maybe contacted him at that time, but I didn't. And I was getting ready to say, hey, come up here and have a talk with me and let me show you the corruption that's going on here. And I didn't. And during that amount of time, he got kicked out of Ohio for whatever was going on. He had to leave Ohio. And then as things, but here not too long ago, I contacted Chili, delete laws, you know, and said, hey man, check this stuff out. I could really use some help here, and I'm not expecting anyone to drive down here, up here to Northwest Ohio to get themselves personally involved, but you know, use your influence on your channel to throw some of my stuff out there and say, hey, here's what's going on, because what I'm doing here is pointing out a huge amount of the corruption, and it's not happening just here in my town, okay, just here in my county. It's happening all across this country. Some just as bad, and some not as bad, you know, and some even worse, you know, but I'm doing more than just running out there doing First Amendment audits, and I'm not trying to take anything away from that at all. That, of course, is important, but this goes a whole lot further than our right to record a police officer or our right to record inside a public building. You know, I'm not taking anything away from that. That is important. We need to stand on that right, but if you're paying attention to my case, it goes way beyond that. It goes, the corruption is more than just a police officer violating your rights to begin with, more than just a police officer threatening to arrest you because you're recording or because you're refusing the ID. It goes way beyond that. If you take my case, you know, I got something coming out about my appeal, a video I'm working on, so I can help explain some of that about how my appeal, which my second time lost now, and that's very important, and we don't realize it's being lost in the appeals court, and we don't realize here in Ohio how dangerous that's become, because now they're going to reflect on my case, anyone here in Ohio, and they're going to use that for every reason that they didn't violate your rights, and they had a right to take away your property and throw you out of your property, which they didn't, and I proved it, and we'll get to that in a different video. But by ignoring that and by saying, oh, this guy ain't got nothing to offer because he's just on his video talking about this case, you know, I assure you that that is wrong. I assure you there's a danger in not trying to understand that this goes far beyond the recording of police officers, far beyond the First Amendment audits. I'm talking about auditing the whole system. And if we're going to really, and my thing is, you know, share the love. I'm saying if you watch any of these auditors, please give me a shout out to their channels and get a little attention to me. And you know, there's gonna be stuff there on my channel they're not gonna agree with, but let's take my case where I met with the sheriff and I put him on camera saying, hey, you stole my property, what are you gonna do about it? And he right out admits he ain't gonna do nothing about it, and he refuses to acknowledge what theft is because the sheriff's department stole my property. To this day, they still have not returned it. You know, if anyone's paying attention to that. And this is very, very important, is because they're being protected on a higher level. Okay, we can say all day, I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna sue you. I've been making my attempts to make this right, and the court, and now I'm showing where it goes even to the appeals courts, that it's a system-wide problem, and from top to bottom they are protecting this. And that's what I'm saying. We gotta, and if anyone, I mentioned it once before, James Freeman over here, you know, yeah, give me a shout out, brother, because to help me out as well, because I pointed out something, and there's another video I want to do from another latest video I seen of his, where he's starting to see this in the courts. And the problem is, that's what we're going to see, that the courts are protecting these people, and they're offering them their immunity, and you're not getting anywhere. And we got to take this up a level. Okay, we can't just threaten to sue them and say, hey, we're putting you on video, because a lot of these precincts are seeing this going on, so they're starting to change the way they act while they're on video. But the truth is, they're getting away with it, and they're going to be protected at the higher levels. And that's what I'm saying. You know, I understand my charge was domestic violence, and maybe that makes people want to shy away from, but I assure you I was not guilty of domestic violence, and I did not commit any act of violence. And I've proven that, and I'm going to get to that in one of my next coming videos of one I've been working on about my appeal. And now that that's where it's at, I'm going to go ahead and release a video on it. And I'm going to prove to you where the hand is, how far does this hand reach, and how far it's connected. In my case, you know, they wrongfully arrested me, and you know, I didn't know all the details, so that's why I hired a lawyer. And I hired a lawyer. I didn't have a court-appointed lawyer, and my hired lawyer went and treated me, and I didn't realize it. I ended up accepting a deal because a lawyer I hired assured me. You know, what was I supposed to do? He assured me. Well, here I didn't realize he was hiding evidence to work, you know, and by him throwing me under the bus and screwing my life up by that, he is now assistant prosecutor in his county, next county over, Williams County. You know, they bumped him up for screwing me over. And now the guy that was prosecuting my case, who was screwing me every step of the way, and the judge allowed it to happen. And now this guy, Troy Essex, is now bumping up to judge. Okay, this is what they screw somebody over, and because I threatened to sue, and they helped each other out, and then they went and took my job. You know, anyone that's following along, I got it, all the dots connected. Then when I've made a complaint against my job, then the sheriff shows up and throws me out of my house and steals all of my property, including my lifelong work of tools. You know, a life built up of tools that I need to do the profession that I do, and I can no longer get a job in that profession as long as they're holding my property from me. And you know, so I reach out to these, you know, I'm just asking you to share the love and put, you know, give me a shout out, and do a review on one of my videos. Find one that you like. You know, for the First Amendment auditors, there's no reason you can't find the one I did on the sheriff. You know, I understand I went to the city police department and state police, and you know, there was no real action there, but the thing is, they knew what I was going to be up to, so they prepared themselves, and all three of the enforcement agencies took their signs down that says no recording allowed, and because they knew what I was up to. And you know, but the truth is, we don't have severe violations going on when it comes to the recording and stuff like that. We have the violations going on where they're violating our rights, even on the smallest level, but people don't realize how important it is not to allow that. And now they're being protected. And so, like I said, the sheriff's department totally acted against me, and and then the prosecutor went and protected them and helped them out, and I didn't realize, and they made me believe and used my lawyer to make me believe that somebody was making this awful claim about me, that somebody was, acting against me in a way that they were not, and I didn't know that they were trying to come forward in my defense. The person that I supposedly committed domestic violence against was coming forward in my defense, and I had no idea, because I was not allowed no contact or whatever. Well, I found out later, after my lawyer talked me into a deal. It threatened me that it would cost me more, and told me that because of what the alleged victim was claiming against me and the evidence that the prosecutor could prove, that I would that they would wipe the floor with me in a jury trial, because I told him from the beginning I want to go to jury trial. And the truth is, I should have made it go to jury trial, even if it meant firing my lawyer, because when it came down to it, that's when I would have found out that the alleged victim was not claiming to be a victim, and was coming forward in my defense, but was prevented from doing so from the guy prosecuting my case, Troy Essex, who is now moving up to judge, right? This kind of dirty scumbags we have going on here. And that's the kind of games they played to talk me into taking a deal. And once I did that, it screwed me over. Now the appeals court is using some lame-ass excuse that nothing's on the record. Well, if nothing's on the record, how did you find me guilty? Because even if you accept the deal, there's still got to be enough proof to find you guilty. The judge still has to say, okay, there's enough evidence submitted here that you're guilty. Well, if nothing's on the record, how did the judge find me guilty, right? This is all them. That's why I'm saying how far the hand goes. That they went through my employer. Now they as soon as I threatened to sue, they used my lawyer to put a stop to it. Then they went into my employer to fire me and take away my employment. And then when I went to appeal it, now they're all the way up to the appeals court, and they're against me. What can you do about it? And that's why I need, how much more would they have backed down if, when I first started coming out here, hey bros, can you help me out? Sending some of these guys messages. Hey, check out my video. Could you help me get some attention over here? That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for handouts or nothing else. Hey, do a review on my stuff and get me a little attention going on here, because if I had more attention on my videos, they would not be acting so much against me. They would say, okay, people's watching what's going on here. Okay, by the appeals court citing against me, using a lame excuse that nothing was on the record, and we'll get to that in a different video. I'm going to point some of that stuff out. What I've done in my appeals is valuable information I have to share, which you can do too, and how we can fight this on the court level. And that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. We get these violations moving up to more than just saying, hey, we're going to sue, threatening them on video, we're going to sue. We need to start getting some action going on a little bit higher up to show them, hey, we're paying attention here, and we know what our rights are, and we're here to defend them, because you guys are taking them away, and we got to defend them now or they're going to be gone. Now here in Ohio, because they want to beat me on the appeal, that's where a serious problem comes in, is because now anyone in Ohio who's been wrongfully thrown off of their property for whatever reason, now any local court here in Ohio can go back to that and say, well, in State versus Steele, the court upheld this ruling, the appeals court, the 3rd District Appeals Court upheld this ruling, so this means that it's okay, that we're not wrong for overstating our claim on his property. And that's what they did. They violated my due process rights. And people don't understand how important due process is. And my due process rights were 100% violated, and I will show in my video coming up where I talk about my appeal, where the appeals court 100% ignored my due process rights and my claim to my due process rights being violated. So, I mean, one thing I want to throw out is you look at George Melendez's video, and, shout out to him. Go over and watch the rest of his video on his channel. Give him the attention it deserves. And if you want to comment on there, let them know I sent you over there. And on Here's the Deals channel, let them know I sent you over there. Shout these guys out that they'll give a little attention to mine too. Because like I say, I'm at 312 right now, and it's going up and down right around that area. But most of that's all from my own doing and the help of you, my subscribers, helping to share my stuff otherwise. And a good friend of mine's been sharing a lot of my stuff. Shout out to Tater. Thank you very much. Constitution, but honestly, I cannot say thank anyone enough. I'm not, like I say, I'm not on here saying, hey, help me out with whatever. I'm just saying, help me get some attention on this and put some light on this, shine some light on this. I have a sheriff that no one wants to hold responsibility, hold him responsible, and put the law down on him. I have a sheriff who's still in theft of my property. So I invite any of these auditors to check out my video that's titled, let me find it real quick. You can watch any of my videos that you like and share them, and I'll appreciate it, or do a review on my videos. Some of them are going to be content you're not going to like. Like I did the proof of my claim, where I had somebody in my comments saying, talking about, what here. Watch proof of my claim, and I show you everything, not everything, but some of the evidence I submitted to my appeal to say, right here, this was evidence that my lawyer kept from me, where this dirty cop, shouldn't have arrested me, didn't have no right. And that's where we're going back to George Melendez. Sorry for messing up your name there, buddy. Where he's saying, look, go investigate then. You asked me for my ID after you investigate and shoot, so that's what I'm saying. In my case, where the officer did his investigation, when he was done, by the time he was done doing his investigation with the alleged victim, at that moment, he knew he had nothing. He shouldn't have showed up to my employer, showed up to my work and arrested me that night. But instead he did. He violated me at that moment. And my employer, instead of standing up and saying, hey, you guys had no right stepping on our property to arrest him because you didn't have enough proof. Instead, he goes and talks to me, and this is where you never talk to them. And I never admitted to pushing anyone. He says I admit to pushing somebody. And you're saying, even if I supposedly, all I did was push somebody in my own house, where I'm the only owner of it, and they were acting disruptive, I was within my rights, even if that's what I did. And that is not what I did. He turned the context of what I said, and that's why you never talk to them. And of course, I learned that the hard way. But here I was standing on my rights, saying, hey, I have property owner rights here, buddy. Okay, you're accusing me, and what I did was nothing was out of violence. And even the alleged victim admitted that, and I didn't know that. He was claiming to me that she was claiming all this stuff. He said she claimed all this stuff. The next officer claimed she said all this stuff. The prosecutor and my lawyer was going on this, that she was claiming this stuff that she was not. And I did not know this, but even if any of that was true, even if any of that was true, the fact of the matter is that don't give them a right to steal my property, and that's one thing we want to overlook here. And that's, I'm having a hard time here. I need a little bit, I did this video. If you want to talk about how important the First Amendment, protect thy neighbor from thugs, go ahead and check that video out. I prevented that dude from getting hauled off because they were trying to accuse him of OVI. As soon as I stepped out there with my camera, they told him to get back in his car, and then told me because he didn't have a license, I could drive his car back for him. And I don't know how the dude ended up. He never contacted me back, but I said, hey, get a hold of me and I'll tell you how to fight that. You don't need a license. And I got information, valuable information, that I'm going to start sharing. I'm waiting for certain things to get so far on my case, but I can show you how if you can't afford a lawyer, or instead of using court appointed, or how to fight yours in court. On the local court level, and I got a lot of valuable information to share, because this is stuff I spent over a year digging into this stuff to try to fight my case when I realized my lawyer screwed me over, my paid lawyer. You know what you're supposed to do when you pay a lawyer, that's you expect a court appointed to screw you over, but not a lawyer that you pay with your hard-earned money. Okay, and so right here, sheriff admits he will not do his job. Check that video out. Any of these auditors or people with these channels, check out the video, my video where it says sheriff admits he will not do his job. Do a review on that. Help me out here. And that, that's what I'm asking for, because if you take this, I'm telling you right now, I can prove everything I'm saying, and this proves it right there. They stole my property. Even if I was guilty of any crime, they got no right to steal my personal property. They did that by force with guns out and refused to return it. And everyone I reach out to, up to the Ohio Attorney General, refuses to help me out and do anything about it. And that's the kind of corruption we got. That's how far this corruption goes. And as long as I'm not getting some publicity on this, they're going to keep getting away with it. The better I can get some publicity on this, the better off we all are on this stuff, right? And so I just want to, I'm a little frustrated with the First Amendment auditors. Not all of them, but the ones I've reached out to. Why are you ignoring my stuff? At least send me a message back. Unless something's wrong with my emails, I'm not getting them. I don't know, but send me a message back and say, hey, screw you. I don't believe in you, and you're on your own. If that's how it is. Otherwise, help me out. I assure you, all the ones I subscribe to and follow. I share your guys' stuff, whether it be on my social media accounts or on my website. I'll do articles and share some of that. I certainly have with Delete Laws and Here's the Deal, and a couple other ones on written articles, and shared them on my website, and share them through, like I said, my social media, through emails and word of mouth. I'm always, and anyone that knows me, I got people that probably watching that can chime in the comments saying, yeah, this is true. He's, told me about, hey, check this guy out, and I got a lot of people. That's when, when it comes to Chile on Delete Laws, I contacted him and he says, you got a video, send me the video. Now, he was having somebody help him at the time that was screwing him over, so I want to be careful. I'm not trying to, rag on him too much, but because at the time I forget, I watch all these guys' videos, every video that they come out with, and I try my best to like, subscribe, and share, and that's what they're, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button on mine too, hit the share button on mine too, hit the subscribe button on mine too, because that's what I'm doing for you guys. And and I got people that are, especially when it comes to Chile on Delete Laws, are like, man, that dude's annoying and all this and that, and I admit, yeah, he is annoying. And but I reached out, and the response I get is, you got a video? And I say, hey, I don't got the video of me being arrested, because he claims that's what you need, and that's not always true. That's why I'm saying we need to take this up a level. That, yeah, you do, it's 100%, you should record everything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not trying to take away from that at all. But you don't absolutely need the video. What you need to do is prove that your rights were violated, and I have done that. And so my response was, no, I don't have the video of me being arrested, but I got videos on my channel if you check it out. And I showed him the one, and the one I mentioned to him was, sheriff admits he will not do his job. Don't tell me that that's not a good video. I go and put these guys on the spot, and I don't care, you guys gonna arrest me anymore. I'm putting you on the spot, and no one around this area is brave enough to do what I'm doing. And there is one over in another county. He contacted me, and I'll give a shout out to Sweeney, Jay Sweeney, my friend. He contacted me. He wants to start doing some of these audits. So I was like, I'll hold back, especially he's got something going on with his brother, who was a very close friend of mine, and it's finding out that their corruption over there. They want to hide the evidence that he may. They're letting people believe that he may have committed suicide, when the truth is it may have been some real foul play there, that they didn't want to do their job and they messed up, the authorities over there. And when I first heard that there could be, you know, some sinister stuff involved, my first response was, I'm gonna get over there. But then he said he's got an interest in doing this, so I want to back off and give him a chance. And I told him, you know, I'll help you out in any ways, but also watch some of these other people doing this, because like I said, I'm just throwing myself. I don't have a lot of experience doing the First Amendment audits and stuff like that. I'm just going by ear and what I'm seeing going on. And but by all means, I'll help you out. And but I wanted to give him a chance to let his investigation go on, because he hired an investigation for that. And but I think it's far enough along. I might be getting over there and you know, moving out of my county into other areas. But my point is, you know, other than him, no one around here has got enough balls to be doing this, because they know how corrupt this system is. And I'm telling you, here in Ohio, how far this corruption goes. And Chile from deleting laws knows this 100% well, because of the cases going on here in Ohio. That, you know, Ironton is a lot further, you know, that's almost Kentucky line down there, where I'm way up here in Northwest Ohio, up by the Michigan line, Michigan and Indiana. And Ohio is very, very corrupt, and they are protecting each other. And that's why I'm saying we need to up it. It's way more than just the right to record in a public building or the right to record a police officer. It goes way beyond that, the corruption we're facing. And this is what I'm fighting here. And, you know, so I need some help getting some light on this stuff, because the more light we put on it, the more that they're afraid, when they know people are watching, then they're a little more, you know, if they knew a bunch of people was watching, paying attention to what's going on in my case, they wouldn't be so adamant about so willingly violating my rights and holding to those violations and stealing my property, you know, the way it all went down. You know, so, you know, I want to say, you know, when I first saw Chile from Delete Laws, when I first saw some of his videos, it was because it was shared by Brian over at Here's the Deal, and I think maybe he was still High Impact Flicks then and Grease Monkey Videos, so I'm not for sure which one of his channels shared it, but that's how I found out who Delete Laws was, and I started sharing his stuff a lot. And I held off on contacting him. I should have at the time, but I was, you know, whatever my reasons are. But the truth is, yeah, some of his stuff is annoying, and he gives himself a little more credit than he deserves. I'm going to say that, and I'm not trying to cut on him. He's smart, and he's sharing a lot of valuable information, but he tries to, you know, we got a lot more than one. It's not all because people are the color of their skin. It's because we have rights, and that's what, you know, and he likes to say, well, it's because they're black. You know, I'm not saying there ain't some merit to that, but it's not as bad as he says. And two, you know, he claims all these lawsuits, but, you know, what's the results of any of them lawsuits? Because I'd like to know, are you winning any of these lawsuits? I'm not seeing any yet, because you know, I need to know. I'm out of time now. You know, my stuff drug out. I'm out of time now to, you know, for some of my case. And you know, but there's a lot of yeah, annoying stuff going on where, you know, yeah, his trifold, I'm not going to talk against his trifold, just like I have my cards here that, you know, I didn't know about his trifold. Otherwise, I might have not, at the time, I made up these cards when my violations first started. And these are what, you know, on the back of it, your rights or whatever. And I'm not saying you should take this over his trifold. By all means, he's offering free his trifold if you can't afford it. And I'm not going to cut away from his trifold, but do you absolutely, he's trying to act like that's the only way you're going to win is with that trifold, and that's not absolutely the truth. And, you know, so, you know, you're giving yourself just a bit too much credit. And, you know, right now I'm saying that under frustration, because I reach out to you and you're trying to act like, because I don't have the video of me being arrested, because that's what you want, the video of a person being arrested. You know, my life's in danger right here, right now. And that's the truth. My life is in danger because I refuse to stand down, and I'm not going to let them violate my rights like they are. And, you know, so the facts are the facts. And, you know, all I'm saying, you know, this is what we got to do. But, you know, and help me out here to the other auditors, other people doing the videos on this stuff. Review my stuff. Help me get some light over here on my stuff. I could use as much attention on it as I can get to start getting this stuff, you know, straightened out. Otherwise, by all means, great job with George Melendez there. Go ahead and check his video out. Like, subscribe to him, and check out. Here's the deal. The links to their videos will be in the description. And if whoever you're watching, go ahead and you know, if you're heavily watching certain auditors or whatever, go ahead and give them shout outs of me, or share my video of Sheriff Mitzi would not do his job. You know, help me out there, and I appreciate it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I thank you very much for viewing, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.